Hey y'all, it's Life with Kanisha. Thank you for listening in. Definitely comment, subscribe, and like my channel, and definitely share it with someone, okay? But anyway, today's topic is about do not compromise. Do y'all hear me? Woo! Do not compromise because self betrayal is the worst type of betrayal. So, no matter what you do or what anybody else says, whatever your standard is, whatever your boundary is, wherever your integrity is, do not compromise it. Do not move from the standard and boundary that you have set for yourself, or you will end up hating yourself. You will end up in unforgiveness towards yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, when a person or a group of people are trying to get you to compromise, be more lenient, or see something in their perspective, the whole time, most likely, they're trying to get you to do something that you have no business doing in the first place. See, anytime you find yourself around a person or a group of people, friends, whatever, that's trying to pressure you into doing something so that they can feel good about themselves, so they can make you feel included, or however else they put it, do not compromise, because once you start to step in that place of self-betrayal, that's a hard road to walk on towards forgiving yourself. Because once you step in that place of struggling with forgiving yourself, you'll end up replaying the conversations, the memories. Like, you will know, like, your heart, you will know on the inside that you should have not done that thing, that you shouldn't have went that place, had that drink, laid down with that person. Like, we have to get in a place where no matter what, do not compromise. And over the years, I have been like in different various groups, and I've heard stories from both men and women, and especially like for the women when it comes to relationships. Oh my goodness, when it comes to these relationships, y'all, male or female, whoever is listening, if your partner is trying to get you to do acts and certain things that you are not comfortable with, run. And if you tell them, if you raise up that standard, if you set that boundary, and they then repeatedly trying to get you to change your mind, look at it at a different way, or make you feel as though that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not caring about their happiness, run, because they are trying to guilt trip you off of a selfish motive. I want to say, like, one of the most worst case scenarios, in my opinion. I was in this group years ago. These ladies, they were talking about breakups and relationships, blah 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 blah. The worst case scenario, in my opinion, was this one lady. She kept saying that her partner kept trying to get her to have a threesome, a menage a trois, whatever they call it these days. And she kept denying it. But she wanted to make her partner happy so bad that finally one day she gave in. And she gave in, and then before she knew it, her partner still was not satisfied. Still was not satisfied after she went beyond her boundaries, beyond her standards, and her partner turned around and left her anyway. And she felt really heartbroken about it. She was asking like for support from the group members, and me being a reader, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is horrible. So, male, female, remember this. Even when it comes to relationships, if there are things that you are not comfortable with doing, and you are sure in the very bottom of your heart, your soul, run from that person, run from those people. Even when it comes to potential dating partners, if you are not okay with with being intimate before marriage or intimate while dating, stand on that business. Stand on that business. Anytime you find somebody who does not respect your boundaries, period, they are not for you. They can try to dress it up, they can try to downplay it, they can try to guilt trip you, but at the end of the day, whatever standard and boundary that you have set up for yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, do not compromise that. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. It hurts more to heal versus if you just would have stood your ground the first time. If you would have stayed to the promise that you made to yourself. If you would have just stayed on business. Do y'all hear me? And this is and this is not to condemn anybody, but to make you really realize the importance of making sure you are good to yourself, that you are a best friend to yourself, that you have a good relationship with yourself. Because when it's all said and done, after you have compromised and people please and did whatever people or that person wanted you to do, you're left with that brokenness. You're left with those memories. You're left with that pain. Nobody's going to come and drag those memories out of you. And those who have been through the healing process, oh my goodness, you guys know how painful the healing process is, because not only do you have to forgive the people, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself from lying to yourself, from being delulu, what they call it these days, delusional, or living in a fantasy or in a hope that is not in accordance to your reality. We have to be able to sit down with ourselves and be like, self, this is what we're not about to do. And if the next person that comes in my life, the next group of people, the next workplace, I will not stand for X, Y, and Z. You have to learn how to be a friend to yourself. Do not compromise. Do not compromise. And life is a gift. Your time is precious. You are a gift. And it brings me back to, my previous talks where I talked to you guys about self-worth and knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. Because when you have self-worth and you have high self-esteem about yourself, any person that's trying to get you to lowball, set your standards low so they can fit in or feel like they can bar up to you, they will not have a chance. But it all starts with you as the person. Because if you don't have a boundary, if you don't have a standard, people will try to do any and everything with you, and they will leave you. They will leave you in the dirt. They will leave you where they found you, in worse condition than ever. So if you're listening to this voice over here, listen. If you haven't already, go ahead and get you a notebook. Start to write down some things that you probably forgot about, that you told yourself you wouldn't compromise. That you told yourself, I'm not backtracking on this. I'm not being soft on this. I'm not being weak on this. Whether that's in how you handle your finances, how you approach dating, how you approach your spirituality, how you apply for jobs, you gotta have something about yourself that, hey, wait a minute, blanks, I'm not taking this, and this. What we will not do, self, is walk back down this path. See, sometimes what will happen is when we call ourselves compromising and then the pain and the destruction happens, we tend to not deal with it. We just push it in the back of our minds, but it still has to be dealt with, or you'll find yourself walking the same path again. See, the thing is, y'all, every choice and every decision that we make in this life is going to lead you in a direction. It's going to put you on a certain path. So even in that, be wise in your decision making. Be wise in your choices. Let me tell you guys something. Like I wish I had more more people to tell me this as I was growing up, as I was adulting. See, this is wisdom I have learned through just living life. You get what I'm saying here? So again, do not compromise. And don't make anybody make you feel bad for having morals or standards. I don't care. They can call you every name in the book. Don't you move. And for sometimes for some people, it takes them to bump their head over and over again. It takes them to, walk that same path over and over again until it finally clicks in their head. Each time I do X, Y, and Z, each time I attract this partner, this situation, this ends up happening. How do I change my behavior? How do I change my approach to this situation, to this type of personality? What is on the inside of me that is causing me to attract these type of people, this type of low standard of a people, to where I have to backtrack on my healing. I have to backtrack in my spirituality. I have to backtrack in my finances. Do y'all understand me? So yeah, it's a real thing. Because when you betray yourself, you end up having unaliving thoughts. You're dwelling in depression, anxiety. You're having panic attacks. For some people even it gets to the point to where they have multi personalities after a while, because they don't know who they are. They compromised every part of them that made them whole. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every part of them that made them whole. See, when it comes to our past, you have to let your past mistakes, decisions, and choices you be your lessons. And for some of you guys who are listening in, have you truly learned from your past? Have you allowed your past mistakes, past choices to be the teacher about how you go with your future and how you do things, how you choose jobs, how you love yourself, how you choose to date people? Mm-hmm. Because, like when you pay attention to the past as a learning experience, you're able to have a better future. The past is not always a scary thing. You have to look at it from a perspective. How can I learn? How can I grow? How can I move past this? What can I learn? What can I apply to my life so that way I'm not repeating those same mistakes again? And like I said, do not compromise. Do not compromise. If you told yourself that you wasn't going to have any intimacy before marriage, do not compromise. Do not compromise that. That's for male and female. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you told yourself you wasn't going to be, unequally yoked with anybody, do not compromise. Be bold about what you want. Know this day, if you don't know, that you have the power to pick and choose who you want in your life or who you want to stay in your circle. Never be afraid to be alone. Never be afraid to sit at the table and eat by yourself. Because sometimes that's what it takes to show yourself self-love. But there is peace in eating by myself. There is peace when sleeping by myself. There is healing when I'm reading and I'm tending to the things of my mental health. It doesn't matter what it is, who it is. Do not compromise. Because if a person can get you to compromise on the things that you have originally set for yourself, for your own self, you then give them power to control you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And especially those who are, if you're in those areas, like, like, well, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still, kind of weak in the area. Listen, do not, if you know, when you have that self-awareness about you, if you know that you are still struggling with some things, for example, people pleasing, wanting to be liked and things like that, let me tell you something. Do not expose yourself to places to where that trauma part of you is falling weak. Put yourself in places, in positions, and talk to yourself like, listen, we're not people pleasing today. If they don't like me, oh well. I love me. I like myself. If they don't want to date me anymore, if they don't want to talk to me anymore, oh well. I can talk to myself. I can take myself out on dates. If they don't like to pray or whatever, listen, I can pray by myself. Do not compromise. The best relationship that you can have is a relationship with yourself with firm boundaries, standards, knowing who you are and what type of character and what type of person you want to be. And like I stated earlier, when you catch people trying to get you to compromise, oh, let's do this. Come on, please, please. You're no fun. Oh, you're green. You're lame. Oh, da 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 this and da 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 that. Oh, you're boring. Things like that. Listen, recognize when people are trying to guilt trip you, get you to feel bad, start to do low key emotional and verbal abuse. Because when they start to call you, oh, you're boring, that's name calling. We're gonna throw it in there. Where's name? That's name calling. You call me boring. You listen, y'all. Listen here. Listen. Wherever you are in the world, whether you watch this video this year in 2024 or years down the road, listen. Don't have your back sliding down the wall over something that you can have control to prevent. Don't be in the shower crying while the shower's running on your face. You have full control. And I want to encourage you in that. You have full control not to compromise. Your no means no. And it's okay if people want to leave because you said no. It's okay if people want to leave because you will not allow them to manipulate you, gaslight you, guilt trip you. Your words have a lot of power in there. Your words have a lot of power. You just have to recognize that what you have to say, especially when it's anything concerning you. Because guess what? You have to wake up every day. You have to live your life every day. You got to look at your own self in the mirror every day. So, and also, like, if you're listening to this voiceover and you're in that motion of healing, continue to heal, continue to grow, continue to prosper, continue to do that. Because I'm going to tell you something, there's nothing more valuable. There's nothing more valuable than a person who knows who they are and who will not compromise it. You can take it or you can leave it. Because sometimes you have to show people that you don't need them and that you're okay without them. It doesn't matter how much money they have, what things they can offer you, if they can pay all your bills, if they can fix your car. Listen, I will make it. Y'all listen. Listen here. But yeah, male, female, you are strong. You are bold. You got this. Don't go back and betray yourself. Don't compromise on nothing that you had to heal from. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys on today. Thank you for listening in. Again, this is Life with Kanisha. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely blow up my comments, you guys, okay? Give your girl some feedback, okay? Because my subscriber count has been a little on the low side, okay? But I love you guys. Until next time. Mwah.